Let's Talk Oculus, a VR podcast, is proudly sponsored by the good folks at Patreon. If you want to support the show, join us on patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus. What's up, Oculus nerds? Welcome back to Let's Talk Oculus, episode 201. I'm your host, as always. I'm Dan. I'm joined by my co-host, as always. It is Samson. Samson, this is the first ever episode of the 200 series.
It feels new.
It feels weird that we're not doing this live. I'm not going to lie. I was so used to it.
Hello, everybody. Let's say hi to everybody in chat. Hey there. Dave, TPZ, Squashy, Kim. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Oh, hey, Stratus. That was a great time. Thanks for coming out, everybody, and including everybody I didn't just name.
Yeah, it was fun doing the episode 200 live on Thursday. Obviously, if you didn't catch it live, that's not a problem. It is up on YouTube, and it is also up on the podcast episodes, as most of you probably know already. So you can catch it in there if you want to come back. But yeah, it was a great time, and we got so many lovely comments, not only just in that live stream, but also through our Discord, on the YouTube comments afterwards and such. Like, a lot of love. Really appreciate it.
A lot of kind words.
Yeah, a lot of kind words. But here we go. Episode 201. Things don't look much different to episode 200 or before, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, that kind of thing. But here we are.
We have changed all of our all of our colors and everything, didn't you?
No, it looks exactly the same for everybody.
I thought we were going to change for 200, Dan.
No. I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't get the memo, Samson. I didn't get the memo.
The color memo got lost.
The color memo. Never. Episode 300 will do a big change like that.
But people are still commenting, so that's good.
Right. All right. In this show, it's going to be a little fun one. We've got big games coming out this fall, and we've got some updates on some of those games as well. So we thought better yet just to go through all the big games that are coming out for Quest and discuss if there's any changes that's happened since they first got announced and shown that we just need to talk about, but also just kind of go into what we hope the game brings, and also if there's anything that maybe potentially worries us about the game, potentially. Some of them I'm not worried at all, but, you know, maybe just a little bit. So we'll go through that. And then also what we've been playing as well in the second part. It's been a while since we've done what we've been playing because of the type of episodes we've done for the last 2 or 3. So, you know, there's plenty to talk about in there as well. But Samson, first and foremost, some housekeeping as normal.
Housekeeping.
Discord.
You know, Dan, going, I feel like in 200 and on, what I want to do is I want to change the housekeeping a little, because you know what housekeeping does before they say housekeeping?
No, what do they do? Oh, they knock first.
Yeah.
you gotta nail your timing of that. So
yeah, that'll be tough. Maybe I'll record it once and then have like an actual sound.
Have me put it in.
Get to the housekeeping.
Yeah, the Discord, as always. You can join the link below and join in the Discord. We have a few people joining recently, so definitely come on down. It's absolutely free. We've got the Walkabout tournament that's happening in there. Healing Entree is spearheading that. You can join in if you're in the Discord, and also patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus if you want to support us at $1 or more as well. Samson, we also got some nice comments in the YouTube Discord, as I mentioned, but we got a comment in Spotify from Rogue based on episode 200. That's when he put the comment in. Samson, do you want to read out what Rogue said?
I'd love to. And Rogue joined the Discord as well after making the comment. Rogue says, I tried Lush Foil Photography Sim on flat screen, and holy cow, that game is beautiful. It's super relaxing and immersive, and I just can't stress how beautiful it is. I'm incredibly excited for it to come to VR. Even though I won't be able to play it, I agree with you when you mention that unique games like these are what VR needs and what makes it great. I'd say that's the case for all gaming in general, too. Keep up the good work, guys. I love the podcast. Smiley face.
Thanks so much for your comment, Rogue. And obviously, Samson, that's a game that you have, but you're waiting for the VR version more than anything.
I am indeed. I did hop in once. I'm not that great at taking photos, so I think
what I'm great at this game.
Well, I think what I'm mostly going to be doing in this game is walking and looking.
Yeah,
But hopefully eventually I'll learn to take a photo or two. Actually,
yeah.
Rogue shared a bunch of photos in the Discord. They were quite beautiful.
Maybe this game is going to help you, learn and get better at it and such.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, obviously that's going to be for Steam. It's not going to be for Quest. It's not going to run that well on Quest, probably with that high fidelity that the game requires. But you never know. Maybe Quest 4 with this game to see how well it does.
Really, I feel like my GPU is a little dated. My PS5 Pro might be better now.
Yeah, is it on
I needed to
PS5?
go
Is
to
it coming to PS5? I'm not sure. I think it's Steam.
Jono
I don't
say?
remember.
I do not know.
I do not know. I don't know. Do not keep keep up to date with what's coming out and everything else. All right, let's get into the show, which is the main topic is obviously our hopes and worries with some of the biggest 4 games, but also it's a little bit of VR news mixed in as well because we've had some new game announcements since we've last done a regular show as well, and Gamescom's come and gone, which has brought in a few new things that we need to talk about, including this first one, Samson, Deadpool. This is the showcase game of the year. This is it. This is Meta's top game. This is their Batman Arkham Shadow. This is their Asgard's Wrath 2 of 2025. And we have got some more details with the Gamescom kind of announcement. There was a release date trailer, shall we say, that came on. And the release date is going to be November 18th. And it's going to be $50 USD as well. We know the price as well because you can pre-order it. There is a really good article on Upload VR's website that Henry, I think, who did the hands-on on Gamescom. It's a really good article. You should definitely read it. But just to point out a few highlights from that specific article. The combat was the biggest thing that really shone. He said the combat felt amazing. It's fast, it's stylish, it's satisfying. With the guns, it's like instead of manual reloading, it's full automatic, and it kind of needs to be because it's so fast paced and such. Like you
Right
don't want to be. Yeah, you don't want to worry about like reloading and such, which is great. He said the cell shaded visuals are like perfect for this, and it feels like. And Ian Hamilton talked about this in his hands-on like a couple months ago, a month ago or so, that it feels like the Quest 3 is being pushed to the absolute limit with this game because it visually looks fantastic and also plays really fast. And there's a lot of gore as well, and the way that you can like slice and dice your enemies. There's a lot going on, and it feels like it's pushing it to the limit, but it ran smoothly according
it to the limit.
Weapons he used, stuff like dual katanas, guns, grapple hook. There was a mojo meter as well that can like fill up, and then I think he said press the X button, and then you can use it for this extra style points in a way when you're fighting. So yeah, that's another thing that's in there. There's a lot of humor as well, the classic Deadpool humor that's in there. You could do some great mechanical kills as well. So he said he pulled someone with a grapple, and then he kicked him. He like sliced them in the midsection, and then kicked him off the cliffs. So there's all sorts that you can do. Yeah, there was some like minor gripes that he had, but it was just on his demo. So it's these things can be better once the game actually releases. And yeah, I think he also had a crossbow as well at some point as well.
I think it was a bow and arrow.
Bow and arrow, yeah, sorry, bow and arrow. But he doesn't have to. Once again, not really.
It just automatically reloaded. Yeah.
You just need to pull basically as well. So yeah. Really encouraging thoughts. I mean, we're seeing a lot from some content creators also had their hands on it, and they've also been like raging about it, how well it is, like raving about it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this, Samson.
I've not watched anybody's content on it yet, but I guess by their titles, I'd say they're raving.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the Deadpool lore, so story for me. Sort of out the window. I don't really care who that goes. I hope it's present. I hope I can like vaguely follow it, but I don't really care where it goes, so to say. Mechanics wise, Dan, I'm hearing a lot of just expansion on what happened in Path of the Warrior. The special meter. You had the special meter in Path of the Warrior where once you killed enough enemies, you could use one of your specials. I forget what
It was just more like
there's like 5 of them, right?
It was just like depending on what you had, you could like do instant kill, right? You
Yeah.
had like knives coming out your hands for one of them as well. You had the decoy as well, so you had quite a few.
Yeah, everything just feels much, much deeper, especially the wounds. I do hope for a wild and ridiculous environmental kills, because that was one of my favorite parts of Path of the Warrior,
Yeah.
like throwing people into the sewer and the shark game and whatever, the train, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just there's going to be way more ways to kill people in way gorier ways, and I look forward to all of them if it's there. I hope so.
I think so.
I hope the game makes me laugh, and I hope it feels good to kill all these people in the most horrific, gory ways.
Yeah.
My one concern is that it doesn't feel good, but so far it sounds like it does. So
Yeah.
And variety and scenery. So it does sound like it's really stylized, which I like, because as we'll get into later, that's one thing I'm nervous about when things try to be too real, especially in VR with where it's at. And it, because I feel like when you're in the presence of the thing that you're looking at that's supposed to be like real, it's so much. It's like more immersion breaking.
You compare it to real life, right, and such. So it does feel a bit weird when you see like I don't know, a crate, and the crate looks slightly off, or the texture's a bit weird, or the ground's a bit weird.
For me, it's mostly with the humans, but yeah, with I suppose with other things too. Yeah. But yeah, I just hope they just keep fleshing out everything they did in Path of the Warrior, and then ultimately, I hope it sells well, and Twisted Pixel gets to move on to another grander, great VR title.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, I don't think it gets any grander than having the flagship metagame this year. To be honest, I think that's
the peak. I don't know that they want to, but I'd like a non-IP game.
Oh, so it's just like they own, their own like original, like Path
or if they want to deal with another IP, see where they go. Sure, honestly, Path of the Warrior and hopefully Deadpool. Well, that's what I'm hoping for. We'll open the door to they can just do. Obviously, they're owned by Meta now, so it'll probably be another Meta-owned property of sorts or something like this. But
yeah, well, not for a while, maybe, because like it might be a Deadpool 2 if it does really well. Like Batman's done really well. You would expect the next game from Camouflage to be potentially another Batman. Potentially,
I don't really VR's. I just never expect
a sequel.
Sequels.
It's not.
Yeah, they sort of gave up on Lone Echo 2 real quick, right? Then that
it came and went.
They stopped. It came. That's a good way of putting it. Exactly. There was Asgard's Wrath 2, for sure. So that I'm not. Obviously, they're not anti sequels. But
who is making a Lone Echo Quest port? That's the question. I think everyone's been waiting for that for ages. I think they own the IP. I don't think Ready at Dawn do. I think Meta own it, but surely
I don't think that comes.
It's such a great title. At least I'd not played the second one, but the first one was so good on PC. And if you bring something like Asgard's Wrath, you can surely this will come at some point. I'll be shocked if we don't see Lone Echo at some point in the Meta's life cycle. Yeah, I'll be shocked. Especially because
I'm going to color you shocked.
But anyway, I resonate exactly what you're saying here with Deadpool. I don't think you don't care too much about the story anyway, even if you know or didn't know the lore. I don't think you really care. I think this is a game that's out there to be purely nothing but fun. It should be a bit of a longer game than obviously Path of the Warrior being quite short. You'd expect this to be at least 10 hours. You expect this to have some sort of story to kind of guide you to a path. But like I said, that doesn't really matter too much. It's more about all the environments that you go into, the enemies that you face. And I don't know if there's going to be boss battles, to be honest.
There's going to... I feel like in the ad for it or whatever in the video they showed, they showed like like cuts to people, and they had cards, with their name, how the boss's like name came up. I feel like I saw the equivalent of that type of like intro
Yeah.
in some of this content. I mean, Path of the Warrior had bosses. This is okay. There you go. If there's no bosses, I'd be worried. I'm worried.
Yeah, fair enough. Because that was so cool in Path of the Warrior, and after playing it for our Revisited series, which all of you should definitely go watch if you haven't, which was only a few episodes ago. It was such a great game, and there's that game, the art style, the physics, the combat, everything about the mechanics more than anything, and then just the overall vibe of the game is so. What is it? It's kind of like cheesy, but in a really good way, like very humorous and cheesy, and it kind of fits the Deadpool mold perfectly. So I think this is like the perfect developers that Meta has to put on a project like this, and I am very excited. I'm not worried about this at all, especially with the amount of stuff that's coming out and the amount of hands-on that people have had. I don't think I'm worried about this. I think this is going to be a smash hit.
What do you think? Like, how do you think the game will be organized, so to say? Like, will you have a hub that you'll get missions out of? Like, does Deadpool have somebody that like tells him what to do? Really?
No, not really. I think that's the whole point.
Yeah, he just because it does his own thing, right? Yeah,
he just does his own thing. He's kind of a lone wolf in a way.
So how do you think it's like? It'd be like mission, because Path of the Warrior is very much like level based, right? Each level is very segmented off from the rest.
I think it'll be the same. I don't think there'll be a hub world per se. I think it'll be very mission based, like that. You think of Batman. I think it'll be very similar to Batman, but Batman eventually does get a bit of a hub world as you play through that game. I don't think this will. I think it will just continue. What I would really love, which I don't think I've seen anything about it, and I'm not great on the Deadpool lore either. I've seen the first two films, and that's pretty much it. I've not read the comics. I've not watched anything like. I've not watched the cartoons, the comics, or anything like that. If there is a cartoon, I'm not too sure, but I'll be great. I know it's a little bit weird, a little bit different because you're in VR, you're in Deadpool shoes. But it would be great if you could have like different costumes and such. You can look down, you're wearing like a random yellow suit, or you're wearing some crazy stuff. I think that would be cool, especially for people who are into the comics and have seen. But maybe Deadpool doesn't have any costumes, and he's just got that red costume, and that's it. And that's the case. And
I don't know.
I'm not too sure. But I'm just expecting just a really fun game for about. The only thing is though, like if this game is going to be like 10 hours or so, how. Like, is that too long for this type of game? Is
too long?
Yeah, it could be.
Like, first of all, we don't know at all how long it is. Correct?
No, we don't. No. But I'm just saying. I don't
think like, 10 hours is too long at all.
A game which is just purely fun. I'm just thinking something like Path of the Warrior, where it kind of just was a level or two, maybe.
It was like 2 hours, right?
Yeah, but it was almost like perfect quality for that type of game. So I'm interested to see how they balance that with Deadpool. How if it is just super super fun, fast paced. I do think how much of that game is going to be there.
I do think with all the like the meta research of the best, like most people spend 20 to 40 minutes in there or something like this. Like, I do think that it will be like a game that you can play in bursts like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little bit more similar to Iron Man. In terms of how that was structured, in terms of the missions and the length of the missions in a way, because that's kind of structured in that way itself. But I don't know if I think if it's going to try and get to the level of Batman, it needs to be a bit more in depth than that. So I guess we'll just wait and see for this one. We just don't know that much. We just know that the combat's really good and it's really fun to play. And like you said, some of the kills and such are going to be really fun to do because you can maybe get quite creative with it as well. I hope it's not like, I hope the enemies aren't purely physics based, and I hope they do something like Path of the Warrior where it was, kind of it was kind of designed that way. It was kind of designed for
gamey, right?
mechanics. It's more like arcadey and such. And I kind of hope, and I think they will have the combat more like that. It's something about the like ragdoll physics enemies that I just don't really like, because it does perform in unexpected ways most of the time. But I don't think they're going to go that way. But yeah, I'm very excited about Deadpool. Very excited about Deadpool.
Let's hope they reach for the stars.
Nice segue, Samson, because the next game on the list is Reach. Reach, the release date has been shown for October 16th, so we're going to get this game first before Deadpool, almost a month before. Yeah, really well paced. It's going to be $40, $10 less than Deadpool. And, you know, for those of you who haven't seen too much of Reach, it's a game that's really banking on VR mechanics more than anything, VR controls. It's a game that is gonna. It's been touted that it's going to focus on unique ways to traverse, to climb, to get from A to B and such in the map for combat and such, which is why this is going to be a really interesting game. And I would say this is my most most hyped game for this fall, just because I'm curious to see how it's going to play more than anything. And it's going to be one that you're going to be tired. You're only going to probably want to play like 30 minutes before you're like, okay,
are you sure?
I'm gonna take a break. Yeah, maybe. With all this movement and such to try and
I know,
reverse.
Dan, it's in one of my worries.
Yeah, go on. What is your worries?
Well, you can finish. You can get to my worries in a bit.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. My only worry about this game is the fact that how it will look on Quest more than anything. This game is obviously, you see, it's absolutely beautiful. I think this one would be a PSVR 2 exclusive if PSVR 2 was successful and Sony kept pushing it. To be honest, they had snaps on PSVR 2. I'm sure Sony would have funded this and probably try to get it on PSVR 2 if that system was doing well. But alas, it's not. And yeah, it's going to come on Quest for sure, which is exciting and great. I just hope it looks and runs well, to be honest, on Quest, because we haven't seen anything about that yet. And for a game that potentially would also be fast-paced and require all this mechanics and traversing, and the issue with these type of games is that when it doesn't work, it's quite frustrating, and it kind of deters you away from playing it. And that's why I'm really hoping that the Quest version does run well as well. It's different for Deadpool, because Deadpool is targeting Quest 3, and that's the only platform, so they can focus everything. This is a multi-platform game, so it's not, potentially not going to use as well a performance as a Deadpool would, but I hope it still plays well. So that's my only worry about that one, but I am the most excited about this one because I'm really intrigued to see how it plays.
Yeah. Well, I think PSVR 2 is doing just fine, Dan. And in fact, I just picked up a PSVR 1.
You did?
So
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Though Sony saw none of that money. But this one feels like it will be excellent it'll be an excellent feeling while moving, as you said. Like, that's sort of what they're emphasizing. And I just really want to feel like a badass jumping through the air and like doing crazy VR stuff. But this, I do say, I hope I have to move, but I hope I don't have to move too much, because, I don't want to get too tired.
Yeah, we'll play it for 15, 30 minutes and be like, okay, I'm gassed. Although there'll be accessibility options in there that if you wanted to tailor it down, that nowadays a lot of these games do have it.
This one I don't really have a reason to be worried. I'd say I'm probably going to play it on the PSVR 2. I do hope that this one has like good set pieces. Like, I feel like I want something where I'm, traversing something and like, shit's going on. Like, give me like cutscenes where, like the Half-Life-esque, Vertigo did some of that stuff too, where you're, stuff's just happening while you're moving. And I guess I wrote that I wish it was an 8 to 12 hour game, but really I feel like that's what I hope for most of these types of games.
Yeah, it's kind of like your sweet spot and such.
For actually potentially finishing. I mean, Vertigo 2 was a little longer, Hubris was a little shorter, but in general, if your game's about that length and I'm into it, I'll probably finish it, unless I get stuck, like in Metro.
I think it will be similar to Synapse. Synapse was around like a 5-hour game.
But Synapse was way different because it was a roguelike. You could potentially finish it way faster.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, that's true. And you potentially finish it. You potentially keep going and playing more and more, right? So, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So I guess with a roguelike, you could almost double that time, or at least increase that by 25%. So it could be like 8 to 12 hours, like you were saying. To be fair, but yeah.
I will say both these prices seem fair.
Yeah, $40, $50. I mean, my Canadian wallet's gonna hurt because it doesn't convert well anymore. Things aren't great. It doesn't convert well at all. Ends up being like a $40 game looks like $65, and you're like, well, what does that look like? But it is what it is. But yeah, it's solid prices, and the fact that Reach comes out and then Deadpool is kind of perfect. Another game, Samson. Well, you just mentioned. Wait, what did you mention? Hubris, right? This game. The next game that we're going to talk about, Arken Age, as someone who's not played the game and only watched, I watched PSVR 2 with Parole's review on it. I read the Upload VR review on it as well. But this very much looks like a Hubris-esque game to me with Arken Age. Maybe a little bit more combat involved than Hubris, to be honest. But aside from that, it kind of looks like it. So
I mean, I think there's bosses in this one too.
Mm-hmm. So for those of you who don't know, Arken Age came out earlier this year on PC and PSVR 2, I believe. And I think mostly on PSVR 2 was the big push, I think, for this game more than anything. And it just got announced that it's coming out in November for Quest, which is very exciting because a lot of people who talk about Arken Age say it's their game of the year this year. For those of you who played it, Live Open Mike has said that many times to us before. So was Noble Squashy, I think. And
I don't think he said it was game of the year. Squashy's a big Orion fan or whatever.
That's fair.
What's that one?
Yeah, that's it, Ryan.
It is okay.
Yeah, but a lot of people online as well just saying this is their game of the year still. When it came out, obviously on PC and PSVR 2. So for those of you who don't know, it's like a sci-fi adventure game that is essentially, you've got guns, you've got like a light sword as well and a standard sword, and you've got this kind of world that you've got the mechanical beings basically that you're trying to stop, and you're trying to kill them as well. The story apparently is not much to it, to be honest with you, but it's more to do with the beautiful presentation. It's an absolute stunningly gorgeous game. Stunningly, I'm not sure is a word, but it's a gorgeous game on PSVR 2 is what it looks like. And the only concern I have with this game is how it runs. Once again, just very similar to Reach. And also, from just reading the reviews, the haptic feedback in the PSVR 2 was heavily utilized in the mechanics of the PSVR 2. So they used eye tracking for like the sniper or scope and such, which is really cool.
I will say Squashy and Mike, neither of them played it on PSVR 2.
Oh, okay. That's a good sign. That's a good sign because I guess they were playing PC then. So that's definitely a good sign. But to me, it looks like Hubris, but like a step up above potentially in terms of how this game is and how it looks and such. It seems like Hubris is like sequel or sister.
I think this one's more melee. I mean, I guess you get the guns too, but yeah, I guess I could see it less. I feel like Hubris is more like story though than what I'm hearing about this one. Yeah. I mean, I've got to get in this one. Perhaps I'll get in finally on my PSVR 2 when you get in on the Quest, and then we'll have a pod on it.
You're not gonna join on Quest? See how it's like?
I've got you to tell me what it's like. I don't need. I mean,
they did.
This one doesn't have a price, but It was like
No.
a $40 game, I think.
It was $40 on PSVR 2 and PC. The graphics don't look too bad on Quest, to be honest. They did come out with a trailer. It looks decent. Once again, it looks more like Hubris again. Just to bring that comparison with the graphics. But the Hubris looked great on Quest. So this does look great, but my gosh, of course, it's nowhere near as vibrant and popping looking like on PSVR 2 for sure. Don't get me wrong. And if you want to play this game, that's basically the place you want to play, just like Reach. For you, Samson, they're the two, you want to play it on your Pro. But for us Questies who are listening to this podcast, it still looks really good to me. It still looks really
I think
good.
it'll look fine.
Yeah, it still looks really solid. I just hope it's once again smooth. It does. They did say that it's going to have 100% content parity between Steam PSVR 2 editions, and it will run at a native 72 frames per second. So they ensure their whole idea was to ensure that physics and combat feel equally as impactful on Quest, which is what the CEO and lead designer Blake Stone talked about.
I wish them the best.
Was announced.
It's pretty incredible that if they're able to get this out this year, that they could release the game, like essentially 2 versions of the game in 1 year.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing then in terms of what people disliked about the game, once they dislike, but like just a slight little con, is that it's not a game for VR newbies when you first go in, because it is very intense. But you could probably say Asgard's Wrath 2 is kind of similar to that at some point, right? Yeah, for sure.
I feel like any RPG is going to be, I feel, kind of tough like that.
So even though this is you already own this game, you played a little bit of it before?
I did play a little bit of it. I got intimidated by the combat.
Yeah, really, fair enough. Yeah.
I will say Squashy said it was really hard, especially the final boss.
Yeah, fair enough. So you're going to get into this when I get into it.
Yeah,
when it comes out on
so
Quest, and then we'll do the pod at the same time, right? Okay, fair enough. Okay. Well, we will wait for Arken Age in November. There's no actual date for it, but it will be in November. Big things are happening.
Yeah, hopefully they don't steal the show.
Amazing, Samson. Because Thief VR is the next game up on the list. Thief VR is an interesting one because we haven't really seen or heard anything about it since the VR Game Showcase Developer Direct, which was about 2 months ago now, or 2.5 months ago, which did give us a lot of details, don't get me wrong, but it's been a while. We've not heard anything since. Yeah, we've not heard anything since. We've not got a release date yet, and it's kind of thing that maybe in the next week or two we will get a little bit more. But I think this one game has a lot of potential in terms of what I've seen from the developer direct. It felt very similar to when Assassin's Creed was coming out, Nexus, and they had also a developer direct, and it kind of felt a little bit similar in that respect. And I really enjoyed Assassin's Creed. They had its flaws, don't get me wrong, but it was a really fun world to be in, and it was really fun to like parkour around. And even though the combat really, really was bad, aside from that, it was a fun game to play. And it kind of feels like it's cut from the same cloth, but obviously going to be for Quest 3 rather than for Quest 2. So I hope it's obviously going to be more puzzle orientated, because that's the type of game Thief is, and more stealth as well.
Yeah, I meant to ask you what type of game is, because I don't really know what the game mechanics are. I assume there's stealth and some sort of sneaking, but I don't really know like what the gameplay of Thief is.
It's pretty much it. I think it's pretty much it.
So you just kind of sneak around, try to stay hidden.
Sneaking around.
I assume you gotta kill someone eventually or something.
Sneaking around, you're basically getting puzzles. You've got lots of puzzles to solve. You're gonna have to, from what I've seen, you have a bird with you, and I forget what kind of bird it is, to be honest with you. And for those of you who are big into Thief, I apologize.
Probably a pigeon.
I apologize, but that can help you. As well, which was kind of scoping where you're going to go and such. But so it's not, you want to avoid combat in this game. It's not going to be a game like Assassin's Creed where sometimes you want to get into combat. But that's what I love about playing Assassin's Creed, is that I kind of play it more stealthy, and this one encourages it. And it's going to have a lot of like physics and mechanics for you to aid with your stealth as well. So that's pretty much what I'm gathering. I mean, I haven't played a Thief game, but this is just what I've kind of seen just on the trailers and such. But that's the thing. The only thing I'm not really worried about this game at all just now, but it's just I've just not heard anything.
This
else.
This one I hope is stylized nicely, because this is one where I could see you getting into like an uncanny valley with the because I assume there's gonna be a lot of real looking people, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna,
Yeah.
So I hope it's got a good style and it feels good, immersive to be there.
Yeah.
Do you think shadows will play like
Big time?
big role?
Yeah, shadows will
That's
play.
gonna be interesting. All the lighting and how that works.
A little bow and arrow, maybe, or just to do any like poison darts or so, just to sleeper darts and stuff. I remember there was like a.
Ooh, you think there'll be like microphone use where you got to like blow for microphone?
I don't know. I don't think so. But
I've been playing Astrobot. There's a lot of blowing in that.
There is, yeah. There's I know there's a. In the trailer it was showing, and this is probably a normal part of Thief, where there's like a light, like a candle, and you have to kind of put your fingers on it to not blow it out. You just kind of press it out.
You gotta wet your fingers first, otherwise you burn yourself, right?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
If you want to do that, you can do exactly. You can do anything you want, Samson. But yeah, you can put them out, so you are going to be within the shadows and such. But the whole idea really is stealth, and you're trying to steal. You're not trying to fight. I don't know if you do get detected, it kind of ends the mission and you have to start again. I don't know if it's that far into stealth, but we didn't see any like weapons as far as I'm aware. Like it's pretty much like arrows.
I really want to
avoid.
I really want to pick some pockets.
Yeah, you can pick some pockets.
Yeah,
sure. So
I mean, geez. So I guess out of what, these 4, you want to rank these 4, or you want to do them all at the end?
Let's keep going.
These are the big 4.
Are you excited about this one at all?
Yeah, I'm excited. Do we got any price range?
No, nothing. We don't. Like I said, we don't know anything about it.
30,
we don't know when
40.
it's coming out. I got a sneaky suspicion that this is going to be out at the beginning of December, when roughly around where there's another VR game showcase coming out in November. And I think after seeing Arken is out in November, Deadpool's going to be out in mid-November, Reach is in October 16th. I could see this either slotting in between Reach and Deadpool, like around that October 31st, November 1st, or it will come out at the first or second week in December, I think. I'm just thinking about from last year. I remember last year, was it last year or the year before? I remember Vampire Masquerade was around October 31st, and Alien came out in December and such. And I'm trying to think around those kind of times. And I feel like it's going to try and, because it doesn't have a release date yet, it's going to try and steer away from Deadpool and Reach.
It's kind of nerve-wracking, I guess, to not have a release date within 3 months, but could get pushed, I imagine. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if it gets pushed to 2026.
I hope not. I also trust Maze Theory. I think that some of their games that they've done recently have been really good. So I hope this is going to be a really solid game. I went on the Reddit for Thief, and a lot of people were anti this game. I think that was more to do with because it's in VR, and a lot of people didn't like the reboot.
I think that's to do with you being on Reddit.
Yeah, that's also potentially true. It's probably not the best time.
It's a pool of negativity.
It is a pool of negativity. But yeah, these are definitely the 4, I'd say, biggest blockbuster games for sure. You obviously got other games that we'll talk about in a second, and you've also got the Star Wars Beyond Victory, which will be probably a little fun mixed reality kind of game. But these are the 3 big ones that if you're going to play these this winter, it's going to take you a few hours to complete, a few days to complete.
And the 4 big ones.
Yeah, and they're going to be the most expensive, and they're going to be also hopefully the most fun. But I think just looking at these 4, I think all 4 are probably going to be really good. And maybe Thief is the only one that might be unknown in terms of how it's going to be honest.
I mean, we definitely know the least amount of Thief, for sure. I mean, we know pretty much all there is to know about Arken other than how the port is itself.
Yep.
And the Reach and Deadpool have been doing a lot of press.
So, a lot of people have been liking it too. A lot of people have been liking.
I mean, I saw a Deadpool press on IGN. I think they dropped the first video before the VR creators and all that. So yeah, they be pushing them all. But we'll see.
I'm excited for all 4, Samson. All four are very different, and I'm excited for all 4 and yeah, it's going to be a good $200 plus winter with these games.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, they're the biggest games, but we do want to just mention a couple of others. We do have to mention Demeo Battle Marked, which is a Dungeons and Dragons one, real quick. That's obviously not a blockbuster game like we see the others, but it's such a Demeo is such a big name in the tabletop genre, in Quest for sure, beloved by many. And this is coming out sometime this year. We don't know any.
I'm excited.
We don't know any release date or anything like that. We've not heard much since the latest VR game showcase as well. But I don't think I'm worried about this one at all, Samson. I think Demeo team are best in class with this type of game, and I think they're going to be great. I think if you're going to say any worry, if I'm really reaching for a worry here, I would just say that it could be a bit too similar to the Demeo franchise, and it needs to have its own identity with its Dungeons and Dragons.
What bothers me most is that Demeo is in the title. I don't understand why.
That's true. Yeah, that is actually true. I've not thought about that, but you're right. Why have Demeo in the title? Why not just do Dungeons and Dragons Battle Marked and it's just made by the Demeo team?
Yeah, I mean, reading the title, it's Demeo X Dungeons and Dragons Battle Marked, so it sort of makes me read it like Demeo by, right? Sometimes it's by Dungeons and Dragons or time, it's multiplication, but that doesn't make sense. So I'd say it's like Demeo by Dungeons and Dragons Battle Marked or something like this. It doesn't make any sense to me. And if anything, I feel like that's you want Dungeons and Dragons to be first, I feel.
So they have been doing a developer diary, and there's been 4 developer diaries so far that you can go on the Quest store, go on the store page for Battle Marked, and you'll be able to see it. They're not big; they're only little few paragraphs or so. But what they do say is that it's basically a game that's based on Demeo's action role-playing system. However, the differences is that Demeo is more of a roguelike game, where Battle Marked is going to focus more on its story and campaign.
I mean, I get it. I can see the mechanics, right? You see your hand, you flip it open, and it's got the cards. The pieces are not necessarily shaped in a similar fashion, but they look like similar pieces, with the circle bottom.
They look great as well. The art style and the pieces look fantastic.
The dice looks the same as a pretty similar type of deal, but I still just don't. I just don't get it why it's just called why Demeo's there. But that's a small gripe. It's a small gripe, and I'm still excited for it, regardless of the title, because it does look pretty fun. And I look forward to failing several times and then overcoming those failures and winning.
And also just to say here that there's an FAQ on there, and it says, is this basically Demeo with a new coat of paint on the miniatures? And they say, not just that. With Battle Marked, the development team is taking great care to build the system that Demeo provides, whilst expanding upon and adding to the experience. Narrative is one of the big areas of attention in this endeavor that veteran Demeo players will mark as a key difference, not only for overarching storyline of the campaign, but also the moment-to-moment gameplay that guides you and your party through encounters. It all needs to feel cohesive, meaningful, and most importantly for Dungeons & Dragons, authentic to Forgotten Realms. I think this is going to be fairly similar in a way as Demeo as you're traversing through the board or so. But I don't know, I'm not too sure. Maybe I've not watched enough stuff on this, but I think as you're going through different areas, there's going to be a narrator talking, saying, and now you're basically like the dungeon master in Dungeons and Dragons, and narrate you through this whole game, and it's going to be very fun.
I hope they have a British accent.
Yeah, you like the British accent?
It fits Lord of the Rings. I feel like that isn't that some sort of
So you think medieval's associated with England is what you're saying?
Well, yeah, precisely. And how many people do you think can play this? 4?
4. They already confirmed one. So they said 1 to 4.
So we've got to get in together.
Yeah, I will be. Hold on, I was just listening to the trailer there, and it's definitely not a British person. It's definitely an American woman.
All right, I'll take it.
God damn. Maybe there'll be DLC where you can choose like
Yeah,
the
John
narrator.
Cena.
Yeah, there'll be no. You'd be like Liam Neeson narrating one of the stories or something like that. Maybe. You never
John
know.
Cena's my meta AI voice.
How is it? Is it good?
It's
Is
John
it in
Cena.
your Ray-Bans?
Yeah. Whenever I show them off to people and they test them out, they're like, "Is that John Cena?" Yeah, it is. I forgot.
That's really funny. I actually saw the Oakleys because they just came out and they do look really nice. You can try them on virtually and they're much bigger than the Ray-Bans is what it feels like when you're just looking at the virtual one, but they do look nice, to be honest.
They do look nice.
They're pricey though, to be honest with you. I think
Well,
an extra $100.
They've got 300, 400, and 500 now, I think.
Yeah, the Oakleys are definitely on the further scale for sure. But
anyway, Demeo Battle March. I'm excited, but I just hope I don't get an infection.
I hate these puns that sometimes like
that was not good ones.
That was not. Some of them were good, some of them not good. Okay, Star Trek Infection. That's the next game that just got announced. I'm not sure if it was announced at Gamescom, but just during that whole time. This is a interesting looking game. So it's a narrative survival game. Samson, do you want to read the blurb actually before we continue?
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead and do that. This ship is empty. The crew is missing. But something sentient and sinister has taken hold of everything. And now it's inside your body too. Mutating you physically and unlocking dangerous new abilities at the cost of your renowned Vulcan mind and composure. Explore the USS Lumen, fight or embrace the infection, and confront the darkness within the ship and yourself.
Yeah, really interesting. I've never seen anything like this when it comes to Star Trek. This looks very much like an alien isolation game that everyone's been screaming for. You're in the spaceship. You have like a tracker on one of your hands, and you kind of have to guide through the spaceship. A little bit like Alien Isolation, but instead of there being just one alien chasing you, and then there's a bunch of like some human enemies. The
enemies inside.
There's like a bunch of infected, enemies in there. The trailer looks interesting. It's a quest trailer, to be fair. Looks like a lot's going on, to be honest with you. It's not as simple as Alien Isolation, where you are simply just trying to traverse through and kind of solve a few of the puzzles and such. Simple but hard game, Alien Isolation, but really, really freaking amazing. This looks like there's a lot more going on. That might be its downfall. It's trying to do too much in this game, to be honest with you.
Did you see there's a whole like upgrade tree? It kind of reminded me of Hubris in that degree. Looked like there were like 5 different things you could potentially upgrade.
Yeah, and it looks good as well in terms of the graphics. It looks pretty decent. Not like amazing, like it's going to blow your mind, but it looks pretty decent as well. And it's going to come out on Meta and on Quest 3 and PC. It was announced at Gamescom, just to confirm that as well. Really interesting. Like I said, it seems more Alien Isolation than Star Trek. I've never seen anything like that. It's very different to Star Trek Bridge Crew. It's not that. It's not a sequel. It's a very different game. So it's going to come out on Quest first this year and then PC later on. No release date yet. Samson, were you a Star Trek fan back in the day?
No, I was never really a Trekkie, but I've enjoyed what I've seen, and I did enjoy Bridge Crew. Now we're starting to get to the games where I think monetarily I'll have to probably pass on. Get into sale later on, but not to say I'm not intrigued. This one looks kind of scary, to be honest, Dan.
It does, yeah, it does. It doesn't look. It's not a zombie shooter, at least, you know.
Oh yeah. No, I love this. Is great use of the IP potentially. You know, if it's ends up being a good game. But,
it gives me like Alien Rogue Incursion vibes. Like it seems like it might just be a decent game, but most likely it's a solid, potentially 7 out of 10, which probably has some bugs and such. That's what I'm kind of gathering from it.
I don't know about bugs yet, but I don't think it'll be like a grand AAA game for sure. Yeah, it'll
No,
be, I think, smaller in
that's right.
scope, which is
Alien
good.
Rogue
I like small
Inquisition.
scope.
Small scope, small scope. So yeah, it's coming
Anyway,
soon.
I know you've been dreading all my puns, but should we get
You
into
can
the
tell me
next
about
game?
this next game.
The next game is Dread Meridian,
Oh yeah.
and it's a survival horror game with co-op. Also coming soon. And should I read this little blurb?
Yeah, do it.
Combat resources like ammo are limited and will require tactical decisions. So I won't be very good. Though it sounds like you'll always have a knife available in a pinch.
So it's handy.
Weapons are also customizable, though the full extent of that is currently unclear. This one seems pretty early.
This one does seem very early. It does.
Even in the footage in the trailer, it says like things might change.
Yeah, under development and such. It does look pretty early. It looks good in the trailer though. It seems very. It's not going to be the same, but it gives me kind of Metro vibes in terms of like dark corridors, darkness, shadows, crazy creatures at times. Obviously, not with a gun or anything like that. This seems like once again a survival horror that doesn't really have much combat. You have limited combat resources. It looks like a proper horror
Always
game.
a knife, though.
Always a knife. It does look like a proper horror game more than anything. You know, there's going to be jump scares and so on and so forth. They do say it's going to be community testing it later this year, but this seems like it will be a next year title, to be honest with you.
Dan, are you a Crocodile Dundee fan? Because that's not a knife. This is a knife.
I guess I am, but I have not watched it since as a child when it was around.
Yeah, so, but now you put yourself in that scene.
Yeah, no, it's in there. I don't know if this is going to be one for me. It seems a little bit too scary. I'm going to just coming out there. I'm just going to be a wuss on this game. But yeah, the next game though.
Yeah, I'm a little cold. I'm also a little cold on Dread Meridian.
I was trying to get ahead of that pun, to be honest. That's what I was like. The next game, next and final game that we'll talk about before we wrap up part one here is Syberia.
Our very short part one.
Yeah, 50-minute part one is Syberia. Is coming out, or Syberia VR rather, is coming out for Quest later this year. So this is a point-and-click adventure. You may have seen it on PC shelves. There's a remastered version that's also coming out. It's kind of like Myst, where Myst came out as a remastered and the VR came out pretty much around the same time as well. This was a 2002 game. I think a lot of you would recognize at least the poster of Syberia, to be honest with you, because I've definitely seen it on shelves or in Steam and such, but never clicked on it because I know it's not my type of game. You know, it's that kind of game like those PC games where, I don't know, like Total War or Civilization, those kind of games where I know I'm not going to play these kind of games, but they're big PC games.
I'm more likely to play a VR version of a point-and-click game than I am
I agree.
A point-and-click game, probably.
I agree.
This one, honestly, reading it, I was less interested than when I watched the trailer. It looks kind of intriguing. I could see myself getting stuck in this world, quite literally, because I probably won't know what to do. And then I'll hope Wolf in VR has played it and I can learn and move along.
Go from there. It does look really crisp on Quest.
It looks like a cool world to top in on. Yeah.
It looks like a good world for sure.
But I don't know these puzzles. Are they going to be like one of the rooms looks like reminded me of like maybe inside an old mill or something like this, or even very mechanical things like this. So I could like understand how a puzzle could be in there. Yeah. But then at another point, it kind of goes in the woods or outside. And from there, I'm like, what kind of puzzles are you throwing at me here?
Yeah. Generally like a 10-hour game, puzzle game. Obviously for Samson, it's going to take you like a couple 30 of years. 40. Yeah, for sure. But I don't know if it's like
that's really 30 to 40 years, by the way.
Right. I don't know if it's a hard game per se, like compared to like what you call it for missed, shall we say. In fact, let me just go quickly on this post. I've got this Reddit post open here, Samson, that says, "How hard is Syberia for idiots?" So I'll just
How old is this post?
this is 1 year ago. I'm just going to say the first comment and we'll leave it as that. The first two can be really obtuse in their puzzles. So if you're someone... ignore. Okay, let me read this again. In my opinion, the puzzles in Syberia are not as hard or twisted as in other games. There is a couple difficult puzzles, but it's not too bad. It's like more like a solid puzzle game rather than it's like missed and you need to write things down and that is that hard.
I got you. Like you'll be able to do it without extra help.
I'm not sure about that, but
extra written help.
You don't have to keep coming back and write things down and come back is what I'm trying to read. I don't know. I don't ever played this game and such, but it looks pretty solid in VR. I'm not gonna lie though.
Probably another skip for me then, but it looks cool. But November 13th, Dan, you know what I'll be doing.
What will you be doing on November 13th?
Getting ready for Deadpool that comes out in 5 days.
Oh, fair. So we're gonna watch Deadpool in big screen.
We should
do that. We should do that
yeah.
because it'll be November and it'll be a great time for movies. And my big screen is working now. I figured out that I had a VPN on for the whole time, and it was.
Dan, they have changed things in big screen. Apparently, you have to be friends now to join the room. Otherwise, it says it's private and you can't do it. And
we could be friends.
And all the things are case sensitive. Just letting you know. So
we could be friends and.
I think we are friends already, but yeah, just in general.
Yeah, so we should do that. We should watch Deadpool 1, 2, and I still haven't seen Deadpool and Wolverine, which is a lot of people say it's a really good film.
Now you're committing to a lot. I will watch Deadpool 1 in big screen before. I don't know that I can
commit to a trilogy?
Yet. Not yet.
Not in a row. We can spread it out.
I figured your quest would die.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you could even switch to your Quest 3S, and it would still die before the end of the trilogy.
And we did 2 runs in what's the game that we've been playing? The roguelike.
Oh, that's a good transition.
Ancient Dungeon. Yeah, it's a good transition. We played 2 runs of that, and by the second run, towards the end, the battery was dying. I had to plug it in. It was on like 2%. So yeah, yeah. Anywho, Samson, that would do for a mega part 1. These are the games out. These are the fun games that are coming out this year, and you get hyped for them. And let us know in the comments what you're really intrigued about, what you're really looking forward to. If you're worried about any of those, let us know. And obviously, we'll buy them, review them on the show, and go from there because that's what we do. That will do for part 1. Part 2, we're going to get into what we've been playing. So we'll see you then.
Hey. We know public lobbies in VR games can be a bit toxic, feel a bit empty at times. That's why we created the Let's Talk Oculus Discord, a friendly community that you can join for multiplayer meetups, general VR chat, the game, and chat about VR, fitness motivation, and there's even a very impressive 3D printing channel. Join over 100 of our community members in the Let's Talk Oculus Discord for free. The link is right in the description.
Welcome back to part 2 of Let's Talk Oculus 201. That's a mouthful, Samson. That's a mouthful.
You can say 201. People understand.
201. This is what we've been playing, Samson. It's been a while since we've discussed what we've been playing. I want to start first. Because I'm not going to lie, I've played 4 games, 2 demos, 4 games, and I've not really loved all 4 of them, so I'll just talk about a couple of them, and then I'll throw it to you. I'll talk about the demos first. Of Lies and Rain, which is the first demo I played. This game stopped me from playing it further because I saw big spiders, and I had to turn it off. So nothing to do with
mechanical.
Nothing to do. Are they mechanical? I guess I didn't know. I just saw him crawl, and I was like, "Okay, no, okay."
There's too many legs on the floor.
Honestly, but I really enjoyed the start of it though, because the start of it, you're in this train that's kind of hanging off a cliff, and you have to climb your way through the train. And it does look really good, and it looks really good to play in VR too. And you look down and you see the bottom of the train and such, and it is kind of freaky. So it is fun, but it is a little bit janky too. It is a demo, so it does need some work. But then as I was crawling through I don't know, just underneath a specific room or something like that, there's a grate, and you can see through it, and you see all these spiders going across. And I was like, okay, thanks for the warning. I really appreciate the warning. I'm gonna hop out now. I had no idea that spiders were in this, but I'm really sad about, because
I think we warned you. We warned you.
Maybe you did. Anyway, that was my first game. The second demo that I played was Vex Mage, which is like an arena shooter, but you're using magic instead.
It's
graphics,
single player though, right?
As far as I'm aware, at least in the demo for sure. Yeah. And in terms of graphics, it looks really good. Whoever the magical magician character you are, you've got this freaky arms, and it does look really good graphically, but a little bit boring for me. Like you have a few enemies. You had some, I'm not gonna lie, spider-like enemies, but they weren't close enough so I could get past them. And you had some flying enemies and such. And obviously you had like different spells, and you can shoot the spells, or you could like bunch your hand together to create like a bigger blast and such with your spells. But I just found it a little bit boring just to go around an arena and just shoot. And I think I'm thinking something like Quake, maybe it is one of those things where having it in multiplayer would be a lot more fun. But yeah, it was just it might be a solid game for a lot of people, but for some reason for me, it just didn't really fit my kind of vibe, Vex Mage. So yeah, you can try the demo out. It's on Quest. It's obviously for free. But let me just double check before I throw it to you, Samson, if there is a co-op. Let me just see here. No, it just says, well, get a taste of the single player experience in Vex Mage. So the actual game itself might actually have some co-op to it.
Yeah, it does imply that.
It does imply that from its message in there. I'll see if I go onto the main quest page if there is more on that. It does say co-op. It's going to be more leaderboards, and you can go through it alone or with each other as well. So it is co-op, but yeah, it's one of those games that probably as you get into it, it gets a bit more fun. There's a lot more variety of...
You like upgrade things, or like...
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. And there's lots of enemy types. There's different kind of spells that you could use and so on and so forth. And it can be probably really fun. It was just not for me.
You got to push through.
It's just not for me. I could see potentially some people will like it. More power to you, rather. Anyway, Samson, they're my two demos. We'll come back to my other two games. Over to you.
Well, early last week, somebody in Discord, Void, he said, so when are you getting a PlayStation VR 1? So I got back on Facebook Marketplace and started looking again. And then I found one for $100, Dan. Pretty much brand new. And then I went to make a plan to go pick it up. And they canceled on me because they said, actually, I looked it up and I think it's worth way more. And then sent me like a store listing of it being like, I don't know, $500 or something when it first came out or whatever. It was like a bundle or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm not going to be paying you any more than $100. So good luck. And then I saw that they updated their listing to $300, and it's still on there. And then a day or two later, I found one for $150, also pretty much brand new, Dan. This was the Iron Man bundle, and Iron Man is still sealed in the case.
Oh, wow.
They never opened the games.
One of the best games on there.
I mean, I already have it, so I guess I'll just leave it sealed.
Now you got like a sealed copy you can put on your sealed shelf.
Exactly. One day when I get that behind me instead of this elliptical.
Exactly.
And so I've been playing the shit out of my PSVR 1, Dan. I played Astrobot Rescue Mission. I'm on the final boss. Like I beat all the worlds or whatever, and what great fun!
It's amazing, right? I still think that's the best VR platformer I've ever played. It's so much fun. That and Max Mustard.
Yeah. So honestly, Max Mustard is closer to this game than I ever really thought. But that said, this did do some unique things, like the swimming and the water levels. Particularly, one of them is a tide, and that was just a really unique feeling. Like as you're progressing through the level, the tide's going up and down, so you as a person are going underwater and no longer underwater, essentially. And all the sounds and everything that changes when you go underwater. It was very immersive and such a cool platforming experience.
Yeah.
It's a shame this game hasn't come to the VR2. Although, there are some, I guess, DualShock 4 things, but everything that DualShock 4 can do, the 5.
So you had to buy a DualShock 4 to pair with the PS5 for it to work?
Dude, yeah, I did.
That's so weird.
Because I needed to use it. It uses a trackpad thing a lot, but I don't. Yeah, I thought the PS5 one has that too.
It does, yeah, it does. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, and it uses the IR light. It uses the IR light, so that might, because I don't think the PS5 one has it.
That's probably
and that's how it tracks it.
Yeah, because you need the camera and you need the adapter for the PS5 too. Because
yes. So I knew I was getting this like in a couple days in advance, so I ordered the that it was like a $10 thing off Amazon, the adapter. It is a whole lot to like get plugged, and now I have to like plug in. Now I have it plugged into my both USB ports are used up on my PS5 instead of the HDMI and all that. Honestly, I did start looking for like just a PS4 Pro. I'm like, I'd just rather have this in something else, but that's not quite at a price I'm ready to make that easier.
Yeah. Because it comes with. Did you have to still plug in the puck as well? That like little mini kind of PS4 that you have to plug into the PS4. Do you have to do that?
Yeah, there's like a whole there's like a square.
Box.
There's a box, and you plug everything in there. Yeah. I haven't used the Move controllers yet, and I did get the aim controller, but I also haven't used that.
The aim controller's sick. I do love me some aim controller stuff, to be honest.
But I installed RE7 because I was on sale for $10, and I noped out of that real quick. The first thing they have you do is walk into like a dark room. Yeah. And I was like, is that where I'm supposed to go? You can't see anything.
Can you believe I completed that game in VR?
Dude, that's crazy. And then I walked away. I went back. I was like, I guess this is where I have to go. And I crept around the house for a little bit, and I was like, all right, I got to go do something.
Oh, crap. Okay, you're in the house. I see what you mean. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's been a while since I played that game, but it's so ingrained in my brain because I played it in VR. You get numb. You end up getting numb to the scares. So eventually, like, I don't know, maybe 2, 3, 4 hours in, or maybe 3 hours in, then I'm like, there's not scaring me anymore.
Anything.
I can handle anything, and it was fine. And yeah, I completed that game. And
there
was one scene that unfortunately didn't get to. There was no spiders in the game. As soon as you get past the house level, you essentially get captured, like around that, because that's just the intro. Basically, you get captured, and then you wake up, and your eyes like blink open. Obviously, you're in the VR headset, and you're at the dinner table with the family. And it's crazy to be at the dinner table because they're like feeding you cockroaches and such, and you kind of like flinch and whatnot. And it's kind of weird just being sat at the table, but it was wicked. It was really fun. Gross. But the great thing about this, Samson, is that you could play a little bit of it on just the flat screen, and then just put the VR headset every time you want to kind of experience things little bit. But yeah, anyway, it's a tough one.
Also got into some Wipeout, and holy crap, Dan, best racing game I played in VR, hands down. I played it took 5 or so races. I accidentally put the blinders, sort of. You can set your cockpit to sort of take up more of your eye space. Mm-hmm. And then once I turned that off, I was like, oh, this is what I want it to be. Because you'd be going fast, and I just love Wipeout. It's reinvigorating my love of Wipeout that I haven't played it in so long. But yeah, this one needs to come. This one doesn't make sense why it's not in the VR2 because it uses the controller. Like there's no tracking whatsoever. Yeah. And then after some hours in my PlayStation VR, I hopped into Iron Rebellion with Squashy, and the first thing I thought was, "Damn, this resolution's really high." Because now I was in my Quest 3.
Yeah, the difference.
I was like, is there an HD update? Because honestly, the PSVR 1, when I'm in it, I don't really. You don't really. I mean, you notice like at least see a vague screen door effect, and I know the resolution's not that like not as good, but like
it's comfortable though.
You don't really like think of it like playing Astro Boy. I'm not like, this is so blurry or whatever.
Did you find it quite comfortable to wear? I always found the PSVR 1 really comfortable.
Honestly, I find it's a Halo strap, so I find it pretty comfortable.
Honestly, the lenses are really good.
I have trouble getting the lenses as close to my face as I want them.
Yeah, I remember that too. You try and press the button and you try and force it.
It goes all the way, and still then I have to like tighten it and like kind of mess around with it a little bit. But I just deal with it. It's not too bad.
No. Good time.
But yeah, Iron Rebellion, great mech multiplayer game. Great fun. We filled the lobby. It was 4-on-4. We played about an hour. Played like team deathmatch and then conquest. Played with some great people. One's probably kid and then one adult, and they were both quite nice.
Nice,
mostly. And so there's different types of mechs, like a heavy, medium, and light. I'm a pure light guy. Light on my feet, Dan, because I love to just. You're so much faster.
Yeah.
And when I get hit, like I can't take that many hits, but then I just go repair myself. And I just love zipping around. And Iron Rebellion is one of the best seated games, especially if you have a chair with arms.
Yeah,
it's peak immersion.
Yeah.
But yeah, great fun. Iron Rebellion.
Nice. Yeah.
Do you want to mix in some of your games?
A lot. Yeah, I'll mix in real quick. I did play a little bit of Hidden Memories of the Gardens, and I played it a bit in mixed reality, and it was okay. I think I don't want to talk too much on it yet because I feel like I need to just play more. I didn't play too much of it. The early puzzles were quite straightforward, but you kind of at the moment is in mixed reality. You're kind of on the tabletop, and the world's happening on the tabletop itself. So it's not like groundbreaking or anything like that. It's just you can play it in mixed reality or virtual reality, and you got these two kids, and you're trying to traverse up this world, but you're using you basically can reverse time, so you can go fast forward, you can reverse it and such. And to complete early puzzles anyway, is that you have to go forward and then you do something and then you have to go back to what it now unlocks, and then you have to go back forward as well again. So it's kind of with
sounds
timing.
Like Braid.
I haven't played Braid. Yeah.
Braid's all about time.
It's all about time. At the moment, it's like that. It's still early days, so there's not too much. I don't want to say too much on this just yet. The other game I played, though, was Hard Bullet. Did not like this game at all. It's a game where it's a wave shooter, and you basically can select your guns beforehand. You have like money that you can earn, and then you select your gun, and then you go into essentially like an office building with a rooftop and such, and then you'll have enemies coming at you. And I just didn't really like it. I thought that the enemies have ragdoll physics, and the best thing about it is that the actual shooting of the guns feel good. That it feels like there is like recoil on the pistols and such, which is really nice. Aside from that, though, it's like you hit maybe 3-4 bullets and you run out of bullets, so then this person's shooting at you, so you just walk up to them, maybe slither around them, and then you just grab their gun from them, and then you just shoot them, or then you throw stuff at them. But there's all ragdoll physics, so things kind of get in the way and get a little bit clunky, and I just didn't like it. I thought it wasn't a good game at all, and I would rather play something like Compound, which is similar in a way, where you're kind of traversing through this map, and there's like, in a way, there's like a wave shooter. It's not, but it kind of gives me similar vibes. But Compound's just much more fun.
It kind of sounds like Hard Bullet. You kind of have to make your own fun in there.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if it's got more than you can have like co-op and such. I'm not too sure. I didn't look, but I can see that being maybe potentially fun, because you can kind of do like creative stuff with the ragdoll. But honestly, I found it a little bit dull, and I just much prefer playing a game like Compound or such. If I'm going to do like either a wave shooter or like a level based shooter or something like that. So yeah, that was all of the games I've played, to be honest. I have too much to say of them because I didn't really love most of those games on that list. But back to you, Samson.
I've got a few more. I'll keep some of them light. I got into Synth Riders, got some workouts in.
Mm-hmm.
I've been mostly playing on the PlayStation VR, but it was nice enough where I got outside and got some nice Synth Riders and mixed reality outside. Lovely time.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, we had a Quake 3 night where Centron, me, Void, Hack, and Squashy, I think that was about it. They showed up this week, but we had a great time. Played for about an hour, a little over an hour. I think Centron's trying to figure out a way to set up our own server so we can choose our maps. Right now, it's sort of just like whatever the public server up there is doing. Yeah. That's cool. That's kind of exciting. Hope he's successful. Great time. I probably got to plan a September one. Great time. Quake 3. Highly recommend it. Noble Squashy put up some highlights of mostly him killing Void, if you're interested, on his YouTube. Moving right along, or more like tooting right along, because Dan, I got into Trombone Champ.
Yeah.
I got into the DLC, the Undertale and Deltarune games. Neither games I've played. In fact, I don't know if Deltarune is a game. I just assume it is because I know Undertale is a game. It's quite difficult.
Same kind of crowd. Yeah. Sorry.
These songs are all like, if you have them on the bass mode, they're all like super tricky. And my God, Dan, I played a bunch of them and you be tooting. It's hard, but it's fun because that's what you want. I don't really, I obviously prefer songs that I'm familiar with, but they're pretty fun songs. All the ones I played, I think I played 75% of the ones there so far. I've got like one or two left.
Yeah.
But yeah, Trombone Champ. If you're it's really a good game to zone out in for me because it takes so much focus. So I don't really like move any other extremity other than my one arm, and I'm just so focused on tooting at the proper time that it's sort of relaxing, meditative, if you will.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It's a great game. It's one of the best games that came out last year for sure.
Then I got into a little bit of Dead Second, played through the first level. I picked this one up on the PlayStation VR 2, so I'm hoping to just slowly unlock things so that when I have people come over and be like, hey, try Dead Second, and they can actually like try all the guns. But Dead Second is a how would you describe it? Those games where you shoot and then you move a little bit and then you shoot.
I don't know what the games are called, but
I'm blanking on all Time Crisis.
Time Crisis
type of game.
Yeah. We both came into it at the same time.
Yeah, so you move from like node to node, and you're kind of working your way through the levels, unlocking guns, ultimately to try and go through the levels as fast as possible. And that is Dead Second. Also, Underdogs hop in on the PlayStation VR 2. Pops. But Dan, oh boy, a lot of moving in this one.
Yeah, but how was it with the cable with PSVR 2? Is it okay?
I'm just conscious about facing the one direction, so it didn't really affect me. And where I play the PlayStation is like inside of an L couch, and so if somebody's like sitting on the couch, it's like a bit dangerous, if you will. And
the
sometimes
PlayStation, wait, it's inside. You mean the cable's inside the L couch?
No. Like I'm facing an L couch away from the TV, like an L couch,
Right.
And so the area there isn't
it's
grand,
not safe.
so to
safe
say.
Zone.
But girlfriend's kid loves sitting in front of me and watching, so I was very conscious of where I was punching. But Underdog's a roguelike mech.
Brawler. Brawler with a good story and a cool
great
art
style.
Very cool game.
So hopefully one day I can beat that one too. I never did finish it. I got up to that last area, the last boss.
It's tough. It gets real tough. Really fun game.
Then, Baru Monkey hit the Discord up for some 11 table tennis, and I took him up on that offer. And we had
Did you
some good
smoke him?
matches. No. I think I won one match, and that's because he. I don't want to say go so far as to say he took it lightly, but he was trying some funky stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Played with the left hand. Tried some tricks.
I honestly, I think that I'm probably closer to him at 11 table tennis than I am with him at normal golf. I guess for race mode, we can be close at times when we're playing all together.
Yeah.
But yeah, 11 table tennis. If you want to play table tennis, that's the one to get, especially multiplayer. Cubism. Dan, I'm at a point in Cubism where I'll turn it all over. I'm like, you know what? I got a little bit of time to kill. Let's knock out a puzzle or two in Cubism. Oh, yeah. I'm on the expert puzzles.
Yeah.
And even just looking at this empty puzzle is stressing me out.
Yeah.
And so I closed it.
No. Yeah, you're not at the point anymore where you can just go in and quickly do a couple puzzles. It's at the point where you need to spend a lot of time at it and try and maybe do some easy puzzles to get your brain thinking that way to get back to the expert level.
Yeah, I don't know what to do, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
And then last, certainly not least here, I got into Pedal Rebel VR. Now this, Dan, is an interesting take on biking. You put your left controller on your thigh. I put it on my left thigh because I didn't want to go across my body. And I kept my hand like in my knuckle grip so that I didn't really have to like hold the controller. I could just kind of like rest my hand there with it open. And then as you pedal, the game like moves you and knows that your arm as your leg is going up and down.
Your leg's in, yeah.
The game itself is, think of like Outrun, where you're on like you're going down a highway, so to say, and traffic's coming at you. And at first, most of this traffic's like kind of normal, like cars, bikes, things like this. Then all of a sudden it starts turning into like much bigger, like Humvee type of deal, like maybe even a tank. I don't know. They got big. And they start like, they're in the air, some of them. They're like, they're all like on their own sort of paths, it seems. And you're just like figuring out what line they're taking so you can kind of dodge them. And you move by leaning left and right. Cool. So as far as, and then there are boost pads and some pads that I think slow you down. I hit one of those once. That was annoying because I didn't like going slow, but still having to pedal and not feeling like I was going as fast as I was before. But as far as the bike movement felt, it worked really well. And it felt like, when I was moving, when I felt like I should be moving, I was moving. And the turning worked well. Like I never really felt like I hit something where I shouldn't have. Once I figured out like how sharp I could turn. Yeah. Only once did I hit a car when I felt like I shouldn't have. And I was going for near misses. Because I saw like something come up, like a bonus point or something for a near miss. I was like, oh, I'm going for all those now.
Yeah. Oh, just a question. You're on a stationary bike, right?
I am.
So for some reason in my head, when you described the controllers resting on your laps, I imagined you just sat on the edge of a couch and you're just moving your legs up and down as you're doing this. And I'm like, you must be so tired doing that over and over again.
That'd be hilarious.
That's what I was imagining. So I just had to. I'm just thinking maybe those listeners were also imagining that for this whole time.
Yes. This game is for a stationary bike,
right?
Or a normal bike that you have in stationary mode. So to say.
Right. Got it. Roger that.
Where was I? Oh, so there are definitely aspects of this game that feel like it's an alpha. I kind of wish it was like gamified more. Granted, I didn't try the endless mode, but I tried a couple of the missions. I'm out of shape, Dan, so I wasn't in too long. But I do wish there were coins to collect, and then you could maybe spend those coins on various bikes or some other thing. Because as much fun as dodging things is, it's also fun to collect while dodging.
Yeah.
One time I felt like there was like a jump of sorts, and that felt really cool and weird. But I do wish there was more like play in like height, so to say, like jumps or divots or things like this. And ultimately, for me to like really want to use this app, it needs to accommodate my cadence sensor, which is a small Bluetooth device that you attach to the pedal, and it tracks you can put it on a regular bike or a stationary bike, but it'll track it much like a Fitbit for your bike.
I see, and it doesn't do that at the moment. But
not yet. I did reach out, and he said he's, it's in the pipeline, so to say, but it is tough. He says so. Hopefully, but the friction of needing to hold my hand on my thigh the whole time. I'd rather just bike, I think, but it is a potential way to like mix up that workout And it is a unique way to move, like in VR. I've never really felt that before, so that was cool.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, Pedal Rebel VR. It's cool that it's a unique gig title. These kind of experiences in VR you can only get in VR, and it's kind of fun that is the idea. Well, I guess I can't play it because I don't have a stationary bike. Although I do have one in my condo gym downstairs. I just don't want to
there you go, Dan. Come on, Dan.
There are many stationary bikes.
It's not in mixed reality, so you might have to bring someone to keep an eye on your stuff.
Oh, I think people will stay away from me. They'll be like, "What is this? What is this guy doing?" But
now, see if it could support like now I'm just thinking of a totally other app, I guess. But now I want like a mixed reality app where it uses the cadence sensor, but you use the controllers to shoot while you're
you think
biking.
One day we'll do another episode of making another VR game, and maybe that might be the one.
Yeah,
that might be the one for you.
I got another one. All right, moving right along. Let's go to part 3.
All right, that'll do for part 2. Sorry, part 3 we'll talk about the only game that's out this week, and we'll wrap up the show. So we'll see you then. Let's Talk Oculus is available on all good podcast platforms and some rubbish ones as well. If you want to see the video version, it's available on YouTube and Spotify. And also, if you love us so much, then consider throwing us $1 at patreon.com/Let's Talk Oculus. Back to the show. Welcome back to part 3 of LTO 201 or 201. Samson, only one game out this week. The games are coming, but not right now. It's Iron Guard Salvation.
The games keep coming and they don't stop coming.
Samson, you've been talking a lot in that last part, so let me talk.
Take it over.
Join the fight for humanity's survival in Iron Guard Salvation, an exhilarating tower defense game with these real-time strategy elements. Build powerful defensive structures, upgrade your turrets, and directly engage relentless waves of robots using your handheld drone. Only your tactical brilliance and battle-hardened strategies can save humanity across battles waged on different planets, including the hostile world of Akris? Akris?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Sure. So I got this came out on PSVR 2 like earlier this year. And
I don't think it was a sequel though. That wasn't the first one.
Don't know, but this is only like 10 USD, and it does look really good and really nice. And I do like me some tower defense games. It's been a while since I played it for sure, but I do like me some tower defense games. The turrets remind me of. There was a PS1 game back in the day, Samson, called Future Cop. I don't know if you've ever played that game.
It sounds familiar now.
It was not a tower defense game, but the turrets, the big turrets in there look exactly like it, and it's giving me flashbacks big time. I used to really like that game as a child. But what do you think? I actually kind of like the look of this, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I feel like I got to play the first one, though.
I mean, the first one isn't on Quest, is it? Or is it on Quest?
Oh, no, I have it on PlayStation, though. It goes on sale a few weeks ago.
No, fair enough. But yeah, only 10 USD comes out this week. I actually think I might pick this one up. I am going on vacation for a week, so maybe
it is a good seated game, you know?
Yeah, I think I might pick this one up, and we can talk about it. There's a couple of games. I'm on vacation for a week, but I need to play that, and Slap Fighter is coming out soon. I'm not sure if I can say that, so I might just cut that out. I'm not sure if I can say that. But Slap Fighter is coming out soon.
Just say Slap Fighter is coming.
Yeah, I've not told you the date.
And then you could.
I've not told you the.
over
I've not told you the date. I just said it's coming soon. Everyone knows it's coming soon. So I
Well,
think
will
it's
then
fine.
be now soon.
I think it's fine. Samson, that's it. That'll do for our
Great
episode. The first episode of the 200 series of episodes, and it went 90 minutes long. Expect more shows like this as we get into busy season, where there'll be a lot of games to play and a lot of games to review as well.
We did have like 2 or 3 weeks between of what we've been playing.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Have you played Gears of War yet or not?
Dude, I started to play it on the PlayStation Portable, and then the kid came over, and I was like, I can't play this game in front of you.
Yeah, this is a bit too much. I stopped because I was like, I need to just play VR just so I can do the show here. And I was like, I will play this later. But then I'm going on vacation, so I'm actually sad that I did not buy it for Steam. I bought it for PSVR, PlayStation, PS5.
Yeah.
And
I don't think it'll run well on the deck.
I don't know. Maybe. It's an old game. It probably will still run decently well.
Remaster of an old game, I guess, maybe.
That's fair. So I'm excited to play it. But anyway, that's Gears of War on the PlayStation. That'll do for our show. I've been Dan. He's been Samson. And we will see you all next week.